Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today, your place for educational news. On today's show, we have Sheila Johnson, Kelli Wallace, and Josh Taylor. You're going to want to watch. You will learn a lot.
Thank you to the teachers for encouraging me when I wasn't sure where to start, for seeing my potential even when I didn't, for inspiring me to reach farther and try harder.
Thank you, MCC. You helped me change my future.
Find your wings at MCC.
And we're here with the wonderful Miss Sheila Johnson. How are you doing?
I am so good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, you are the program coordinator,
yes.
Lead instructor,
yes.
all things
lab.
with the MLT program,
yes.
which is medical lab technician?
Yes,
okay.
or technology. Either way, we go with either one.
Okay, now that is a 2-year program.
Correct.
And here at Meridian Community College, and every fall, you accept how many students?
Correct. Every August, which is starting our fall semester, we take in 15 students.
Okay.
We have to start that process a whole lot sooner than August, though.
Because there are things that they have to do
yes,
to be able to get into the program.
Yes,
so
yes.
you wanted to be on the show at this time, so to tell people, hey.
Here's how you do that.
Here's how you do it. Okay, so what is the process that they need to go through to be able to get into your program by August?
Okay. If they are a current MCC student,
okay,
they've already done the application process, you already have your student ID, so you're already set with all of that because your transcripts will all be here. So I'm going to skip that for just a second.
Okay.
So as long as you are a current MCC student, all you have to do is sign up for, or let me know you want to sign up for, an information session.
Okay.
And that's the true reason why I wanted to come, because our information sessions, online and in person to person, start next Monday. Okay, so the online version of that will be on Canvas, and it opens up next Monday, and it will be open until June the 1st.
So that's Monday, if that's April 3rd?
The 3rd,
okay.
yes. And it's open till June the 1st at midnight. It would take you probably 30 minutes if you're just really not focusing and doing what you need to do to finish it online.
Okay.
So it's not like we're asking for a lot of time.
Okay.
But it's just to give you some information about what an MLT is, what our program's about, and some of the things about our curriculum and different aspects of the program. Our in-person does the same exact thing. It's just if you want to come, and that way you can ask questions a little bit more face-to-face. You can be a little bit more present, I guess, maybe with thinking about those things that you might think about when you're watching the video, but you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to email that. So it's, just depends on what you want to do. We have 4 of those, and they're set for different dates. The first one will be next Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
Are they in the actual area in your classroom?
Yes, they're in our
classroom.
classroom.
Okay, so they'll get a chance to meet you
the classroom.
and to see the classroom where they're going to be and all of that.
Yes, exactly.
Which can be very important.
Very informative. Yes. Very informative for you, and making a informed decision, which is what we want you to do. We want you to know if you want to be an MLT. Okay, now for those students who may be watching that are not currently enrolled at MCC, you will have to put in an application.
Okay.
That is easily done by going to meridiancc.edu. Do apply now, and you need to put fall 2023 and put MLT as your chosen major.
Okay.
When you do that, that allows us to know that you're interested. You can then you will either receive a letter letting you know when our sessions are, and you can sign up for yourself, or you can let me know that you would like to sign up for one, or the online or in person, and we will be happy to get those set up for you. Also, if you're not a current student, you would need to have all transcripts from any college. Even if you went there for one semester and took one class, you got to have all of those sent to MCC, and that there's a reason for that. It's not just because we want to make you do that. Any courses that you've taken at any other school that transfers into MCC, that keeps you from having to take them again.
There you go.
You don't want to have to retake courses that you've already taken. So you bring those transcripts or send them to MCC, and then that allows us to know what you've taken in the past, and it helps you be more competitive. Because yes, it is a competition. We only take 15 students.
You take 15 students
Yes.
only in August.
August.
So your opportunity, if you don't get it in by August, we'll have to wait until the next
Correct.
August.
And
Okay.
it's actually, you would need, we don't have a hard and fast deadline, but we
Okay.
are going to choose for the next class in probably the first or mid-June. So if you are truly, truly interested, get everything to us by then so we can get you in the selection process. If for some reason you're hearing this after that, you can always still contact us. There's a strong possibility based on numbers and how many students are interested and how many choose some other professions, because we have so many here at MCC to choose from, that you might still be able to get in. So don't ever hesitate to let us know that you're interested, because you never know, you might be number 15. So
Now let me ask you this: you take in 15 students. Do you ever do like a waiting list or anything?
we
like
do
that?
always do a waiting list.
Okay.
Every
just
year.
in case those
every
15
year.
that you contact
Yes.
can't for some
Yes.
reason.
Right.
So you have a few people on their waiting list.
Yes.
That
Usually about 10, maybe 12, depending on how many expressed interest.
Okay.
And please note that that is not based on us liking you or disliking you. I have no clue. When we sit down with that spreadsheet as a committee, we look at your GPA, we look at your college courses that you've taken, or if you took them in high school, they transfer over here, okay? And then we also look at your ACT score. So
Okay.
those are the things that make you competitive. So a 2.0 GPA minimum, but obviously a higher GPA is going to get you more points. And that's what you want, is more points.
And I think you had also said before that you want to try to be as heavy in the sciences
Yes,
as
yes,
you can
math
be.
and science. Any healthcare program
Okay.
is math and science based. It
Okay.
has to be. We're talking about the human body in any kind of healthcare.
So what are there any prerequisites? So you don't have any prerequisites.
We are the only healthcare associated program at MCC that has no true prerequisites.
Okay.
Now that makes you less competitive. If you
Okay.
don't have something, or if you're coming out of high school, that's why we do that. It gives those high school students who've done dual credit, it gives them a greater chance to go ahead and get in our program. And we've had several who've come straight out of high school because they took dual credit, they get into our program that next August, they graduate high school in May, they get in our program in August, 2 years later, they've got a degree. And then they can go in and get their bachelor's degree, but they can help pay for that because they're working part-time or PRN.
Now you had said before, and I think it bears repeating previously in some of our interviews.
I've never done this.
It's just so new, all so new to you. But it's surprising to me what kind of jobs this degree opens you up for.
Yes, it's
because it's
amazing.
not just you're working in a lab, because that's one thing that you could do. But what are some of the other jobs?
Interesting that you mentioned that. We just had a person reach out to us the other day from DeKalb, Mississippi, and she has 2 job openings. You can be an MLT or you can have a heavy science degree. But as an MLT, you can go into that field, and it is a chemistry-related type of field where they are working with different chemicals to make sure that the product that they're selling is not going to be harming people.
Excellent. And and we had said that the job opportunities are out there, and the
ridiculous.
money is good.
Ridiculous.
So if you were sitting around going, hey, what should I be going into? You need to really look into
Yes,
this. And
please.
it couldn't help you just to go to one of the information sessions.
I'm not going to make you come,
Right.
but come to the session and listen.
Okay, now if they needed to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Okay, my email is sjohns29@meridiancc.edu. Send me your student ID for MCC, and I'll get you into a session, okay? Or you can call me 601-484-8755.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being here. We'll be right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we are talking today with the wonderful Miss Kelli Wallace.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Now, you have only been part of the MCC family for 2 months.
2 fresh new months.
2 fresh new months. Is it still intimidating? Because I remember when I started 40 million years ago, that I remember it was a blur of just meeting all these people and then sit in your office and like, okay, go. And you're like, okay, what now?
I think I'm in the process of just trying to keep up. It is such a fast-paced job. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm running left, right, up, down, all around.
Now, what your official job title is?
Director of Housing and Student Activities.
Okay. That means a lot
It
of
does.
stuff.
It
Okay,
does.
so you are in charge of student housing
Yes.
because we have dorms and apartments here,
Yes.
right? So if someone is interested in and say, I want to go to school there, how do I go about getting housing? What should they do?
So first they must be admitted into the college. They have
Okay.
to have their student email and ID to fill out the application on our housing website.
Okay.
And from there they do have to pay the $150 deposit before they can submit that application.
Okay.
And from there they can apply, they can make preferences on what type of roommates they would like. And then from there we put them on the list and we room them up with someone that they can get along with or feel comfortable rooming with.
Can they come in, can a couple of people come in together and say, we want a room together?
Yes,
Is
they
that
can do
possible?
that, and that is an option on the application.
Okay, okay. So about when do you start letting people know that they have a room on campus? Okay, because we're almost in April.
Yes.
Okay, and so school will start. We don't have any housing in the summer, do we?
Well,
Or do
it
we?
is available, but we don't really have that high of a rate to just say, hey,
Okay.
we don't have space for you. We have so much space in the summer. Most of the time that is occupied by athletes.
Okay.
So our athletes do stay on campus over the summer. But
Okay.
our regular students that are here throughout the regular semesters, most of the time they are not here during
Okay.
that time.
Okay. Now with the housing though, when do you let people know that they have a room or they have an apartment?
So our applications actually open on April the 1st
Okay.
for our returning students.
April Fool's Day.
I
love
know,
April
yes,
Fool's
and
Day.
it is not a joke. I promise. They really do open on April the 1st.
Okay.
And then for new students, they open on April the 24th.
Okay.
And from there, we'll start rooming people up. As soon as we get those applications submitted, we start looking to see who we can pair those students with.
Okay. So, but they should know at least a month or 6 weeks before they come here,
Oh,
right?
for sure, for
Okay.
sure. They can even move in as far as I think I have that set to be 2 weeks prior to the actual start of the semester.
Okay, so you
they'll
can
know.
start bringing your stuff and getting stuff in
Yes.
and getting it to look the way you want
Yes,
it to.
yes.
Okay, excellent. Now, do you have a waiting list? Do we put people on a waiting list if our numbers fill up and we have a large number? Do we actually have a waiting list that they can get on?
So we can create a waiting list, but that is almost slim to none because we have so much space.
Sure.
Recently, we have not filled up our capacity,
Okay.
but if that did happen, we would have a waiting list. And of course, first come, first served basis on that.
Okay.
If they applied first, then they get the first chance to get a room.
Okay. Well, now the other part is the QUAVE and
Oh, yeah.
student services and all of that. Oh, okay, that's a lot.
That's the fun part.
That is the fun part. And yes, I had a meeting in the QUAVE Center yesterday, and I walked in. These young people, they were, I think, one group was playing cards. There was a group playing video games. There were some playing pool.
Oh my goodness.
It was just an amazing time, and it was very quiet. No, it wasn't. But they were having a good time.
Yes.
So that's one of the perks of the job, right?
Yes, it's always loud in the QUAVE. I feel like it's a 24-hour party in the QUAVE because they come in there, they let loose, they have a moment to forget about their studies, they have a moment to just be a college student. That is the center of our campus where the students are able to have a fun experience. And
How late is the QUAVE open?
It is open until 6:30,
Okay, and it opens at what time in the morning?
8 o'clock.
From 8 to 6:30?
Yes.
Okay. And they come in and they, as you said, they have all kinds of games and stuff available.
Yes.
But you also, we try to have other things on campus for students to do.
Yes.
What kind of things can you tell us that might be coming up? Do you know?
So we have Spring Fest coming up.
Yes.
That
okay.
is a week-long event of just fun activities for the students. We'll have a pool party. We'll have a
Will there be a
crawfish
pool?
bowl. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, don't tell
We'll
Mr.
have a pool
Wade.
party with a hose.
We're talking about this pool party. But we will have a pool party and crawfish bowl in one.
Okay.
So
Okay. Can anyone come, or is it just for the students?
it's just for the students and staff.
Okay. Oh, and staff. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't
that's
forget
good.
about us.
Yes.
We like crawfish. Do you like
we
crawfish?
do. We do. Okay. We do. We like that. Okay.
Oh.
So what else is in during that week?
So we'll have Don't Be Latte, Don't Be Late. for
Okay.
class.
Don't be latte. Gotcha.
You like that? It's catchy. isn't it?
Yes, it's very catchy.
So we'll have a coffee bar in the Quave that day. It'll be 8 to 10 o'clock. We'll also have the main event where student organizations and staff members will have tents and tables set out around the Todd and the Quave.
Okay.
And they'll sell things. We'll have pulled pork sandwiches. We'll have plant sales. We'll have all type of different things that the students can purchase during that day.
Okay.
So bring your monies.
Bring your money
Bring your
and
monies.
your appetite.
Yes,
Because
because we'll have
they
plenty.
do have a lot of good food there.
Yes, and I think the most important event that we will have that week is the Spring Forward event, and that is where housing, advising, and financial aid will come together to prepare the students for the fall semester.
Good. Good. It's good to try to have all your ducks in a row. And
Yes.
I hate to say it, but sometimes students are notorious.
Yes.
I was the same way when I was a student, for waiting until the last minute to try to get something done.
Me too.
And then wondering why it's not done.
Exactly. Or, oh my goodness, no, there's no room in the dorms? Why? Maybe because you submitted the application 2 weeks after the deadline.
But is there anything that you would like to see on campus, like in the future, as some of the things that you'd like to have the students do or have everybody get together and do?
Oh yes, I would love to open up an atmosphere where non-traditional students or students that are commuters would love to have an event that they can come back to campus for, whether that be a concert or just something that is so exciting that they feel like it is worth the travel back to the campus.
We have always been a commuter campus.
Yes.
And I've said this jokingly for many years, if it is not located on the way to the car,
Yep.
a student's not going to do it. And I hate to say it like that, but it would be wonderful if we could get them back and get them more involved in things, because there's a huge amount of things going on campus
I agree.
that I think would benefit the students. Now, it's been 2 months. Okay, so has everybody been treating you well?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone is so friendly here.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm actually remembering names. It is such a large campus.
It is.
I was like, oh my goodness, I hope I don't have to refer to every person as sir, ma'am, or hi girl, because I can't remember their names. But everyone is so warm and nice here that it's easy for me to remember their name because I base it off how they treat me. And everyone treats me so kind here. So.
And I've said this for many, many, many years, and I do really feel it. We are a family. We are a family. We treat each other like a family, and this is really just a great place to work. I'm so glad that you're here.
Well,
I want to
thank
have you back on the show. I want you to talk some more about maybe upcoming events and things like that. I hope you will come back on.
I would love to come back on.
We'll be right back.
Meridian Community College. For more than 75 years, we've helped students soar. Establishing the first tuition guarantee program in Mississippi, we put our students first while creating pathways into the workforce and offering a seamless transition to a 4-year degree. Now is the time to find your purpose and register today, because those who move forward never get left behind. MCC, find your wings.
And we are here with the wonderful Mr. Josh Taylor.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Back again.
Back again. Back again. Now, you are the lead instructor and you are the program coordinator for broadcasting.
Yeah, so I actually teach media production.
Media production. We
Two-year-
don't call it
two-year degree
broadcasting
program.
anymore. Yes.
Right.
And you are also the division chair for all things business and
That's right,
business
the
related.
Business division, I'm the chairman, so that's a lot of different stuff on campus.
Okay. Now, you said before, because we've talked about your program before.
Yep. Often.
Okay, often. But you have some terminology.
Yeah, well, I thought about this morning.
Okay.
And like you and I have both been doing this a while.
A long time.
Higher ed. We've been here a while.
Time. Yes.
And there's certain vocabulary that we use when we talk about things. And oftentimes we end up using that to the public, and they don't have a clue what we're talking about. We know what we're talking about because we've been through committee meetings and in-house training, and we know all this stuff. But it's funny, like I talk to parents often, and they're like, they stop and like, wait, what do you mean by that? I'm like, oh, well, let me explain. So I thought it might be interesting to go through like some really basic stuff for the viewers, just like, if you hear this from higher ed, this is what they're really saying.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
So if you start at the very beginning,
Okay.
when we talk about admissions,
Okay.
MCC admissions, we hear that a lot. What we're really talking about is one page. It's a one-page piece of paper.
That is.
Right?
All
And I
it
guess online too now.
Right.
But I think the public, when they hear the term admissions, they think of this kind of long, involved process. It's a one-page form.
That's it.
Literally, you can get through admissions in about 5 minutes.
Yes.
Fill out the form.
Yep. Hit submit.
Generally, they're going to want your high school transcripts, but even that, I mean, they'll take the form without that.
Yes.
The other stuff that comes up is the word acuplacer.
Okay.
We
Yep.
throw that term around a lot. So what we're really talking about there, if a lot of the kids we get that are coming out of high school will have taken the ACT.
Right.
And that's kind of where we figure out what English class to put them in or what math class based on how they're scoring in those areas.
Right.
Well, especially for our non-traditional students, they may come in the door and not have an ACT, and we throw that word at them, acuplacer. So when we say acuplacer, all we're saying, that is an in-house test that we do at MCC that is, it's free, right?
It is free the first time you take it.
First time you take it. We do it right in-house. They don't have to schedule it 2 weeks in advance. You
No.
literally, they can walk you around the corner and sit you down and take it, and it takes maybe an hour.
Yes, and there are different parts to it. You
Yeah.
don't have to take all of the parts at the same time, I believe. I think
Yeah.
you can schedule
you're
like the
right.
English portion and then the math portion if you want.
And all that
separately.
is, just for people that do not have like an ACT, we can quickly let you sit down and take our acuplacer, and it just helps them place you where you actually need to be in classes.
Let me say something else with the acuplacer. I have advised students, if they are on the cusp of the grade to be able to get into a math class or an English class, their ACT score, they're right on that cusp. I tell them, go take the acuplacer.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the acuplacer, you can score high enough to to actually get into that English class or that math class
Yep.
with the acuplacer, because your ACT scores, you're like you need a 17 to get into Comp 1 and you have a 16 or maybe a 15. I'm like, sometimes that acuplacer, our acuplacer will score you into that class.
Yeah, and in the long run, it saves you
Yes.
time of not having to take that
Yes.
class.
Yes. If you feel like
yeah.
that's what you can do.
Right.
Yes.
And it's worth mentioning too, like when we talk about admissions, we think about college as it's a competitive thing to get into. Well, generally with community colleges, it's what we consider an open door policy.
Yep.
Meaning, like we do have some basic standards, but we'll take just about anybody. And we're with the acuplacer, you're going to get placed in your level of where you need to be. But at the end of the day, it's not like admissions is not a scary thing. You walk in the door, you do a one-page piece of paper, and they're going to get you rolling from there.
Right.
It's really straight. But yeah, acuplacer is just our in-house test that we use
Right.
for placement.
Right.
So we throw around that term advising a lot. All we're really saying is just a person that will help you schedule classes.
That is our advisor.
That's
yes.
what that essentially comes down to.
It's not someone necessarily, and there are some advisors that have the time to be able to say, how are you doing?
Yeah,
How's it?
of course.
But especially in the crunch times, and you've got a list, a long line of people, you come in and they say, these are the classes you need to take. And you don't have to take all of them in one semester. You can, probably spread them in fall semester and spring semester. But we're hoping to get more of the mentoring, talking to you a little bit more. That's coming down the pipeline, but we're not quite there yet. We don't have the people.
I'm not despairing. Like they certainly do that.
Oh yes, they do when they're able to. Yes.
But just from a very simple standpoint.
Advising this, you come
yeah.
in and they say, okay, this is the degree you want. or you don't know what you want,
Yeah, and
then
that's what I was gonna say,
here are the
too.
things you can take that will go to many different degrees.
And that's what I'm going to say too, is they're really good. Deb Nettles is the counselor that handles a lot of our students.
Yes.
And she's really good about when students come in and say, well, I don't really know what degree I'm here for, but here's what I kind of am interested in. That's the other thing they're really good about, is they can say, oh, well, here's some things, 2 programs to consider that might fall into what you're looking for. So they certainly do that.
Yes.
But from a very, don't let it, if you're new to college, don't let it intimidate you. That's your person to help you get your classes scheduled, essentially.
I
what
thought
that
when
is.
I first came to college, because I was the first person in my family to go to college and graduate high school, but when I came here and I finished fall, and I thought that they automatically just put you into your spring classes. I thought if you were in, Comp 1, then automatically you went to Comp 2. That's logical, right?
Yep.
And so the first day of school in spring, I show up and go to my regular classroom, and I'm like, who are you people?
Yeah.
What?
No,
I
you
had
have to
not
ask
read.
for a
Yeah,
class,
you
yeah.
have. So, what I'm saying is sometimes you don't even know to ask the question.
Yeah, you don't know.
You just
Yeah.
because I didn't, and
Yeah.
it took me a while to go. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
But it is one of those things where everybody here is it's never a gotcha game.
No.
It's always like, if you make that mistake, we're gonna go, oh, goofball.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go get you scheduled.
go
And
do
it's,
this.
it's not the end of the world.
Yes.
That's why we're here. Not the end of the world. The other thing that comes up a lot with financial aid, that's kind of an intimidating thing for a lot of
Very.
people. So the 2 terms that I always hear are FAFSA and MTAG.
Okay. Yes.
And which are acronyms, I believe.
Yes.
On a very basic level, all that is, FAFSA is federal aid, MTAG is state aid, and pretty much everybody gets them. Like those 2 in particular, I think everybody gets that.
Yeah. Well, within FAFSA, I just call them Pell Grant.
Pell Grant.
That's our
yeah,
Pell Grant. That's our Pell Grant system, and most students will get something.
Something.
And the MTAG is the Mississippi version
Right.
of that. So yes, and if you are on the tuition guarantee part of, which means if you graduated within Lauderdale County, and that's homeschool or any of our schools, that you get up to 2 years where your tuition is covered. It is not free.
Yeah, somebody's paying for it.
Someone pays for it, but what we
It's not
ask you
you.
to do, you have to fill out the Pell Grant, the FAFSA, you have to fill out the MTAG, and once you fill them out, both of them, the FAFSA, once you fill it out one time, the next time they will carry over a lot of the information. There are just
Oh, I
a few
didn't know
things
that.
that will change. Yes,
That's good.
It usually takes about 30 minutes that first time, but after that they'll call it a merge. They'll do a merge, and it will automatically fill out most everything else. There were
just
some
update the
things that will
year.
update,
Yeah.
like a lot of times your finances and how much money you made and stuff like that will ask to be updated. But aside from that, all of that information and stuff like that will go
Yeah, that's
immediately
great.
into it. MTAG does that as well.
Well, and like I say, I know financial aid is intimidating, especially for first-time college students. But yeah, when you get really down to it, when you're talking about Pell Grant and MTAG, that's just the basics. That's everybody does those, and it's just the office helps you through it.
Well, so today you come on the show and we talk about.
Are we out of time? Are you
Yes,
wrapping?
we
now?
are. We're out of
Oh,
time. He just
I
wrapped
had
us up.
more.
Yeah, so I'll have to have you
Okay,
on the show
we'll do it
again,
again.
to finish up.
Okay.
But thank you so much for being here.
Big Daddy, Little Daddy.
Big Daddy, Little Daddy. I'm just saying. We'll be right back.
Since 1996, the MCC Foundation Tuition Guarantee Program has provided students an opportunity to find their potential. Thousands of students have benefited from the program. Over $6 million have been invested in the students who learn and live right here in our community. This program is funded by individuals and businesses who believe in our students, our families, and the economic impact of an education at Meridian Community College. Now is your chance to offer support. Give today at meridiancc.edu/give.
On behalf of executive producers Tanisha Clark and Matt Milner, media mogul Josh Taylor, and student producer Tyler Tebow Lofton, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something, and see you next week.